What's up, guys? Welcome back to Collecting and Hobbies. Welcome back to another countdown video. So, the top 100 Star Wars Black Series figures of all time. Well, so far. So far, we've done the first 4 full years of the Black Series, and we're continuing on. Now we're up through the red and black box figures. This countdown will include, for the very first time, photoreal action figures. So this is something that Hasbro's been implementing, and they've continued to do it throughout the next few years as of right now, and probably will forever. So in the Black Series, when they first came out in 2013 up through now, especially before 2019, the biggest problem with the figures were the portraits, the hand-painted or cartoon-like likenesses. So oftentimes the sculpt of the actual head was very spot on, very accurate, but sometimes it was just the paint before they had the photoreal that just kind of screwed it up. People would have too fuzzy eyebrows, their eyes would be too big, or they weren't painted on exactly identically from one to the other. Like from the left side might be higher than the right side, the right side, vice versa. So anyway, it was mainly just the human likenesses that they struggled with, but the aliens, the monsters, robots, stuff like that, they normally look pretty good. But at least in this year's countdown, we will have at least a few of the photoreal process action figures in the countdown. But will it make a difference? Because the photoreal, it just started on some of the sequel trilogy figures in this countdown, which are not exactly the highest ranking sometimes. And this countdown is, of course, from 2025. This is voted on by the First Jedi podcast listeners. And this particular countdown is my personal countdown, just based on what I particularly like. So after my countdown is over, we've already had a lot of votes, thousands of votes from the last couple of years, actually, because I didn't put out another video after the 5th video. So this will be part 6. And here we go. So starting with number 18 from this particular year, the Stormtrooper. Now, these are the red and black box versions, and the reason the Stormtrooper is so low, if you've heard my countdowns before, when they repack a figure, especially one from 2013, then they don't have much as high a rank as the newer molds, because we need new characters in the line, so I don't put them as priority. However, the Stormtrooper definitely needed a repack, because at this point we had gone about 4 years since we really had the Stormtrooper in the line. So the fact that they repacked him, that's a good thing, because you always need a Stormtrooper. You always need Stormtroopers, Darth Vader. There's certain figures in the line that should be available like anytime, all the time. And that's actually what they started doing just last year. the Greatest Hits line, taking over the Archive line. And that's why the Stormtrooper is at number 18. There's nothing really wrong with the Stormtrooper. The Stormtrooper was a great figure in 2013. Since then, in 2020, they did update the Stormtrooper. The primary difference between the old Stormtrooper and the new Stormtrooper, when Disney bought out Lucasfilm, they kind of redesigned the helmet. So the helmet is smaller and it's more of a Rogue One style. So the original original trilogy Stormtrooper, this one has that old trilogy bucket, the old trilogy head, not the new one. So it is a good figure, but the old Stormtroopers, they can be pricey. I will be putting in the approximate value at 2025, the end of 2025, what each one sells for now, but I won't be saying it because that will be during the editing process when I'm actually putting the pictures in and the captions and so on and so on. All right, so let's see on my list. Number 17 is Rose. Rose is from The Last Jedi. A lot of people didn't really like her character or the figure itself because some people thought that her quest with DJ and Finn didn't really matter. Like, it took away from the movie. It was a side quest just to make the movie longer or to give new characters something to do. But anyway, Rose was actually a figure that they actually sold on Entertainment Earth, was so overstocked with this figure. They were selling a dozen roses for $9.99 for Valentine's Day. You could get literally 12 retail price $19.99 figures for $10. That's how much overstock they had at this particular figure. Now, the figure itself looks pretty accurate. This is before photoreal, so it's just not a high demand. It's not a figure that everybody's really begging for. And I am partial to the original trilogy. I like all Star Wars, but I do like the original trilogy better, and the sequel trilogy is not it's not my favorite. So anyway, you'll see that kind of in a reflection of this. So number 6, the old lady General Princess Leia. She's number 52 in the red and black box line. Rose is number 55. And the Stormtrooper was number 48. Just for you keeping a score. But yeah, because I'm probably just going to show the front of the box in each of these. I don't know how many pictures I'm going to put in of each. Depends on how long I talk about each particular figure, how much screen time they get. So anyway, she's an old lady. There's other versions of Princess Leia, but she is a new sculpt. She is a new figure. It's the first time, technically, I believe, that she actually had the silver dot on the end of her, on the tip of her laser pistol. She comes with a laser pistol. She, like I said, it's not too bad. She looks like a grandma, but some people think the likeness is slightly off. And out of all the Princess Leias that you could possibly buy in the line, this is probably not going to be on the top of your list to buy. Okay, so, but she's needed if you're in the sequel trilogy to fill out your collection. And again, another one kind of like that is number 15, which is number 51 in the red and black line. Finn First Order disguise. And this is just another version of Finn which is just a different costume, same character, newer costume, where he's in a First Order disguise. Probably not your number one pick for Finn, because he's got, the regular version is more like his rebel or resistance costume. So this is just something that he wears during part of the movie. And there was a Rose that had the same outfit, but it was only released in 3.75-inch scale. So unfortunately, that wasn't released in the 6-inch scale. Probably because they were selling a dozen Roses for $9.99 on Entertainment Earth. Okay, anyway, so the next one coming in at number 14 is Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi. So number 14 is, again, just another version of just a lot of these figures that are just new costumes for the new movie. That's all they are. They're just new costumes for a figure or character that you already have. And this particular one really doesn't look much different, except for he has a unmasked head, and they've already done that, in the previous version already. So this one, instead of having like a robe with a hood, it's more like a cape. So, and it comes with a lit lightsaber and an unlit lightsaber. All right, so number 13, we got who is number 13? Oh, there it is. The Last Jedi, Master Luke. So he's number 46 in the red and black line. Oh, that's Hasbro's number, not my rank or anything. But anyway, so the Master Luke figure, he kind of looks like Moses or something like that. His hair is all gray. It's one solid color. There's no wash to it. The cape and the soft goods are kind of cool, but there's another version of this with his from a Target exclusive. He comes with a little, like a display base, part of the island that he stands on, and he has a metal hilt for his lightsaber, a metal hand for his robotic hand. It's a little bit better in a way, but the head sculpt, the paint on it is different, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And that particular figure cost like $30 at the time, where the other one was $20. I don't know what it goes for now. We'll figure that out later on. But at the time, it went down to like 50% clearance after a while. And but this particular Luke, I guess he's essential because he's a Jedi Master at this point. But they could have done better. The head and the hair, especially, they could have done better. But okay, number 12, we got another. Okay, so this is the first photoreal application of all the figures that are in this list. So number 12 is DJ, another one of those figures that were, do we need him? Do we don't need him? Because he was part of that side quest with Rose and Finn to go looking for the key master, to get the key to, for the Last Jedi. And again, not a high demand figure, but in that particular wave in January of 2018, when this figure came out, he was in that first wave of photoreal figures. Technically, Captain Rex was announced as the first one, but he's also in that wave, and so is Rey. But that's all I got to say about DJ. Don't join. That's what it. He's got the plastic cape, robe, jacket. Actually, it's a leather jacket, but he's just not that interesting unless you really like The Last Jedi. Okay, coming in at number 11. Now, this one's in there. This is part of The Last Jedi, but this one's an exceptional figure that they did a lot of detail, a lot of paint work. He comes with soft good robes. No accessories really, except for his soft good robes and his belt. But this figure's like over 7 inches tall, and that is Supreme Leader Snoke. Again, this one came out in a deluxe version with the actual throne, which is probably more desirable because what are you going to do with him if he's not on his throne? Because he doesn't really do anything else but sit there on his throne. So, yeah, it's just a single release of a deluxe release without the throne. And that's why he's number 11. But he is a very nice figure, very well done. Very nice soft goods, gold robe. And they're removable, of course, because he has a belt. But okay, coming in now, we're into the top 10 for the year. Number 10, I have as Jedi Training Rey. So this is from The Last Jedi. The reason she's in the top 10 is because of her outfit. I like this particular outfit. She comes with like 2 or 3 accessories. She comes with a pistol, a lightsaber, and her staff. And she has a lot of detail. This particular Rey, at the time that it came out, she was one of the better looking Reys, because the Rey that came out for The Force Awakens just did not look that good. And this one looks so much better. So at the point that this came out, this was the best probably Rey likeness and best Rey figure that you could get. Unfortunately, she doesn't come with any kind of droid like BB-8, but we'll be getting to another Rey that does later on in the next countdown, actually. All right, so number 9, we got Poe. Poe Dameron, or Captain Poe Dameron. This figure, again, is much better likeness. It's got the photo. Wait. No, it does not have the photoreal, but it looks so much better. It kind of looks like it does. We actually do need a Poe with photoreal. We haven't got one yet, but this one looks so much better than that X-Wing pilot version. That was just all over the place. His face looked so horrible. He was at the very bottom of the list, and the year that he came out, and he was literally the worst figure other than Constable Zuvio or the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. He was just terrible. But he had a cool new helmet. But this particular figure is probably the best Poe that you can get in 6-inch scale, at least for Black Series. And so that's why he's more up there in the list, because he just looks so much better than the other one. And if you collect the sequel trilogy, then he's essential to you. Okay, number 8, Maz Kanata. Now this one is kind of like the Snoke figure, where they just went out so much detail on this figure. Her likeness, her alien likeness, her face. There's so much paint, so much detail in the paint and the sculpt work. She comes with a huge accessory, which is a treasure chest, which is where Rey finds the lightsaber inside the treasure chest. It comes with the lightsaber hilt. She comes with her little blaster, a little rebel blaster, which I think she had in The Last Jedi as well. And she even has these the two lens thing cover her, like her glasses or whatever. They're perfectly see-through, clear plastic that you can see through. They look like real lens glasses, and they move a little bit. And this figure, for the size, it still got just as much articulation as the other ones, by 28 points or more of articulation. And it's just a great figure overall. But some people, Sequel Trilogy don't like it. It's a really small figure. People don't think small figures should be $20, but that's why she has the huge accessories, the treasure chest, the lightsaber hilt, and the pistol. All right, so coming in at number 8 is... Wait, that was number 8, sorry. I'm looking at my list. Number 7 is the Praetorian Guard. And that's because he's an all-new sculpt, something we've never seen before. He's kind of like an Emperor's Royal Guard. Very similar, but not quite exactly the same. This one comes with more of the blades, sword, axe looking thing. And he just looks cool. The rule of cool sometimes applies and makes everything better. He does have plastic skirts, but they do get out of the way for you to pose him. He doesn't have soft goods, but or at least this particular version doesn't. There was one that came in a multi-pack, a deluxe, but anyway, this particular figure is brand new. It's something you can troop build, and so that's why it's up there at number 7. Coming in at number 6, from the expanded universe, from the Thrawn trilogy, the heir to the Empire, Grand Admiral Thrawn himself. And this is the best looking Admiral Thrawn because this is from the expanded universe, the original Grand Admiral Thrawn, not the one from Ahsoka with the beer belly or whatever. This is the nice one. And they even re-released this in the archive line, but he was number 47 originally in the red and black box. And he's pretty simple, but they did go out of the way to make sure that his ranking was different. And he's a white officer, white uniform officer. He has blue skin and red eyes, and he is technically a repack from the original Grand Admiral Thrawn, but that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that most people didn't get. And that particular version had like his calamari and a whole bunch of artifacts, because that's what he does, collects artifacts and stuff. It came with a ton of accessories, like 10 accessories or something, or 12. But that was a Comic-Con exclusive for $50, and this one is just the regular guy with a pistol for $20. Okay, so now we're into the top 5. Number 5 is Captain Rex. Clone Captain Rex. Somebody that everybody wanted the line for a very long time. Now, he was a $35 action figure. No, wait. Yeah, something like that. He was a deluxe version action figure that they released before this one. The one that came out before this one did not have photoreal application on his face. This particular one was considered the first photoreal. And so this one has photoreal hair, blonde hair, and his face, and it's got nice weathering to it. And he was one of the most highly demanded clones that everybody wanted for such a long time. And he looks great. And he has a removable helmet. His little rangefinder moves up and down. He comes with his 2 pistols. He's got soft goods on the comma. And the clone body is probably better now, the new version, the 2023. But at the time, this one was very highly sought after. Everybody is the first one to go from the store whenever store got it. And he was extremely hard to find. He even went up to like $120 on the aftermarket before they decided to re-release him. Okay, so coming in at number 4, Kylo. Oops, sorry. Number 4 is Hera, also from Rebels. Um, well, not also, but these other ones aren't from Rebels. But this was one of those particular action figures where they took it from an animated TV show, made it look like a lifelike version where she could fit in with your animated style figures or your regular figures, because the likeness on this one is just so good. And it was a much in demand figure at the time. Everybody wanted Hera and Sabine. Well, we already got Sabine, we already got Kanan. Ezra was coming soon, and so Hera was a very high demand figure, and it's pretty cool. The knees look a little weird, but she's a Twi'lek, and I don't know. The knees are the only problem for me. But they recently re-released this, and it's been found at Ross for $7 or $6.99, something like that. Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have Island Journey Rey. Now this one is even better than the Rey that was also in this list at number 10, simply because this one actually has photoreal. So Rex, DJ, and Rey were the first 3 figures in the January 2018 assortment to have photoreal. And you could take the head off of this one and put it on your old Rey from The Force Awakens and make it look perfect, because it's basically the same hairstyle. It's from the same movie. So she just had a soft goods little cloak on. There's a soft goods cloak. You can use that for a lot of things. It's like a slightly different outfit, but you do so much with it, because you could take that head off and put it on any Rey figure, and it just looks so much better, because it literally looks like a miniature version of Rey now that it has photoreal. So coming in at number 2, we got Darth Vader. Now this is a repack from a deluxe version that came with the stand for the 40th anniversary. This is technically from Episode 4, A New Hope. There's slight paint differences compared to the original, so that's another reason why it's so high on the list. It is more accurate, technically. The breathing box on the bottom is painted more accurately compared to the movie, and it's just to me, like I said, this is my personal list, and I love Darth Vader. I love his cape is long. It's not too short. It might be a little too long, but it's spot on to me. It just looks so much, so accurate. It's Episode 4 is my favorite movie of all the Star Wars movies, so Darth Vader's not just essential, but a must-have. He's absolutely. You shouldn't even have a Star Wars figure if you don't have Darth Vader, because you have to have Darth Vader. Who is Luke going to fight? Or Han? Or Chewie? Or whoever else you have? So number 1, expanded universe, much in demand. She won the fan vote for the previous year, and they made her, and they went all out. This figure has extended articulation with the ab crunch. You could literally roll her up into like a ball. That's how much articulation she has. She has a flight suit. She has a helmet. The flight suit is removable. If you take that off, it looks like a Jedi version of Jaina Solo. If you have it on, I mean, you could put it on other people. There's so much opportunity for customs here, that she was the number one best-selling action figure on Amazon.com. And I mean, if you have this figure, then you know what everybody's talking about with it. It comes with a pistol, it comes with a lightsaber, a purple blade. It's an expanded universe type of hilt. There's just so much going on with this figure and so many different things that you could do with it. It's worth the $19.99. Get 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, however many you want, because you can make this into so many different things. You can make it into a smuggler, a female smuggler of any type, or a pilot, a Jedi. You could just do so many things with the pieces that this comes with. That's why it was the number one figure and sold out for so long. All right, guys. So that's basically the 2017-18 model year for Hasbro. That was that particular year's figures. And that was the top 18. And because that's how many they made. And then they moved on to the next one, which was Solo, for the Solo movie. And then we also have Rise of Skywalker coming up after the Solo figures, which was a whole year later. So that's my top picks. We'll be doing more pretty soon. I'll be doing another list after this one and continuing on until we don't have any figures left. And then we'll unveil the entire list voted by you, the fans of the First Jedi podcast. And we'll have the most definitive list of all time, because there's literally hundreds of people voting, thousands actually, over the last couple of years, because it took me too long to do this. But that's it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, and may the Force be with you.